College Football Update with your host, Sean Spencer and Alex Loosemore.
But Colorado survives double overtime with Colorado State. It's a rivalry game. Obviously, there was some words spoken before, so much so that Deion had to bring his mom to the locker room because, I ain't going to go down that road. But we talk about Alabama. I'm coming to you first, Will. We talk about Alabama and how we shouldn't necessarily be worried, about the talent and everything. But then you got this. You got Shedeur Sanders. You got 86 new players that Deion had transfer over there, and they are 3-0. They keep finding a way to win. Can we buy into that, or is it still September? I mean, I'm using that same argument.
It's a yes and no. Can they find a way to win and be so much better than they were? Yes. But do I think they're going to beat Oregon? Do I think they're going to beat Southern Cal? No, I don't. I think they're going to have a really nice season, and going into what Colorado has been, which is versus what they're going to be at the end of this season is going to be night and day. Isn't even a good enough comparison. Mm-hmm. It's an incredible job that he's done, and it's so good for college football to see this, and it's so good for Deion and what the players, the inspiration, and everything behind it. But they can't be a serious national title contender. As great as their story is, it's going to be a great story. But I think they're going to top off at 8 to 9 wins, and that's a fantastic season.
Mm-hmm. See, I've got the absolute ceiling at 8 personally, especially Travis Hunter's out the next 3 weeks after that shot. Yep. So, and I mean, the same thing I was saying with BC and Bowling Green and all that. You can throw to Colorado State here and double it because it's a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game. All the hype on Colorado, all the trash talk back and forth. You knew Colorado State was going to bring everything and then some. I mean, I was one of the people that said Colorado would roll on them. I was sorely mistaken. Yeah. And I'm glad I was, because that was a phenomenal game. What Shedeur Sanders did late in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell he's been working with Brady, because that was Tom Brady. That was that 2-minute drive. And just seeing Deion and Shedeur and those guys and how relaxed, cool, collected they were, I was like, oh, they got this. Like, it would just instilled that confidence in me where I was like, I don't know if they'll get it. And then that happened. I was like, oh, they got it.
Oh, yeah. And that's one of the things I thought was just so interesting. Like, I remember when the Colorado State got the punt at the 2-yard line, and I was like, okay, 98 yards.
98 yards.
Like less than 2 minutes. Like, can he do this? Can he do? And as you start to see him, and he's hits one, hits two, gets a penalty, they bring him back. But it's that certain feel, and I don't want to sit there and say Tom Brady. I don't want to say Joe Montana-esque, but you had a feeling like the penalties aren't going to do anything but just help open up the field for him. Mm-hmm. He's going to get it down the field. And the way that it looked as he drove them down the field and then still had to get this guy, I'm so excited that these guys are playing up to the expectations that they have, and they're shocking everybody because each week is a shocker. I totally agree. I don't think they can win these next 2 games without Hunter because, shout out to Weaver. He's been trying to get in there. I mean, but Hunter is clearly their number one. So I think that's going to be interesting going in. But like you said, it's a great story. And once he gets some big boys on that D-line, once he gets a solid running back and a running game, next couple of years, watch out for them. For sure.
You want to talk about some of the recruits he's bringing in? I saw something today. He had the number 1 quarterback for the class of 2025, who's been linked almost exclusively to LSU and Michigan, was at that game Saturday night. And Colorado is quickly climbing up the board for that quarterback, Bryce Underwood.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Deion he brings, he is you look in the dictionary, you look up the word swag, and it has to be Deion's picture.
Yeah.
He's just so cool in everything that he does. And he's always been that way. And it's just, I think it's awesome for college football. But like what this, thing is, he's just bringing the recruits in. We also got mentioned, Alex, you've said it, and then it was said, Sean, you posted something about Colorado on one of your pages where, like, the game is set up for him to have instant success. With the transfer portal, this can happen. If he were to be at somewhere else, he would not be getting the Travis Hunters to come join him. So it's set up for him to have quicker turnarounds. But it's just good to have some more parity in college football. College football needs these types of stories because they're always going to have up and down programs, but they need stuff like this to just because people get sick of the same marquee schools.
They do. Mm-hmm. They do.